Well, hello there. I didn't see you. Thanks for coming into our YouTube page and checking it out. Please take your shoes off. Take your jacket off. Put your jacket back on. Put your shoes back on and watch this video. This is an old clip, isn't it, Joe?
It's an oldie and a goodie.
It's an old and a good. Old good for your eyes. Use your hands to leave a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, then don't say anything because we have fragile feelings. But please enjoy this old clip from the Andy Show's history while you get ready for new clips from the Andy Show's future.
Coming daily soon.
Flat out.
Welcome back to the Candy Show. We're going to do something different right now. We want to talk about news. Good news.
Happy news. There are good things happening in the world.
There are good things. And in a world full of crazy news, people being mean all the time on the internet, we're going to take some good stuff off the internet and share it with you. Joe, would you like to introduce what we've got here today?
Well, certainly. Our first story is about a 31-year-old who asked his 89-year-old neighbor to move in to help care for her. And they have like a special friendship. They lived in the same apartment building. She's dying and doesn't really have anybody to care for her. So he invited her to move in, and now they're like best friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And there's a cat.
Right?
And there is a cat.
And there's a
There
cat.
they are.
Look at that. There they
Look
are.
at him. That's a good guy.
Right?
Uh,
You think you could live with like a 89-year-old?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Oh.
I think I could. And here's why. I feel like a lot of my interests are not dissimilar to an 89-year-old woman. I like sitting. I like complaining. I like watching television. I like eating. I think
you go.
that I could fit in really well,
It's a match made in heaven.
particularly the complaining aspect. I love nothing more than to sit with an old lady and complain about stuff.
It is one of my favorite things to do as well. I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
No, we come from a long line of complainers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I could do it. What about you? Do you think you'd be able to live with an old lady?
I think I'm with you on that. Just
Yeah.
sitting watching some cartoons or something. And
Yeah. Old ladies aren't known
I
for
don't
their
know
love
about
of
cartoon
cartoons.
watching. I don't know.
I think Jerry Springer, possibly.
Old ladies don't love Jerry Springer.
Old ladies love Jerry Springer.
I don't know that Jerry Springer is still on TV.
Oh, it is.
Joe Brown.
Yeah.
Judge
Maybe
Judy.
some Price is Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With I was going to say Mariah Carey, but with Drew Carey.
Lawrence Welk show, perhaps.
Yes.
There you go.
Is
Our
that still a
grandfather.
thing?
I'm sure it's on PBS.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen.
If you have a grandmother, please let us know if old people are still watching Lawrence Welk. Because when we were kids, our grandfather loved Lawrence Welk more than anything, and I think about him often. Lawrence Welk.
Cowboy
that is.
shows?
Yep. Murder, She Wrote. Matlock reruns. I
Matlock.
lived with my grandmother, my other grandmother.
Yeah,
in
not our
Charlotte.
grandmother.
No, the other one.
Yeah.
I lived with her for like 6 months in Charlotte. And there was a lot of Matlock.
Yeah.
A lot of Murder, She Wrote. And we got along swimmingly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
I enjoy those programs.
That's great. That's wonderful, Joe. What else we got?
A sea lion found a unique place to take a nap. And that was on top of a car.
That's really all the news you need, I think.
And this was in Washington. Look at that picture.
There
Just
he is.
taking a nap.
You're just chilling.
Out of curiosity, was it near a zoo or was this just happened? Is this a wild sea lion?
This is a
lives-
wild
Yes.
sea lion. Yeah,
Yes.
it's in Washington State, so it looks like it was a harbor seal. And I'd like to know how it wandered into this parking lot.
Maybe you got a ride. Uber.
Good point. Yeah, that's the new Uber animal.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
you
Yeah.
can ride on top of a car if you're an animal. There's already people Ubering inside. You get to ride on top
Yeah.
of it.
Should be
the new
affordable
rules.
price, too.
Yeah.
This principal made a student shave his head in front of the entire school.
Now, it looks like this nice website decided to use some clickbait
That is a clickbait title.
because that sounds really aggressive
That
and
sounds-
not
yeah,
good.
Not good. The story is different. The story is that this young boy had a family member who was stricken with cancer. So, in an attempt to associate better with that family member, he shaved his head. He went to school, and of course, because children can be cruel, the other kids made fun of him. So the principal decided to have his head shaved in front of the whole school, and I think that that's wonderful. I did not have such positive relationships with my principals, nor did they like the way that I looked all that much.
Sure.
I once got in trouble because I wore crazy striped soccer socks to school often, and they told me that the socks were distracting to the other children learning. I guess they got like all entrenched in my sock stripes and they couldn't figure out how to do math.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a real story.
Wow.
Joe?
Goat yoga is booming and helping people in extraordinary ways. Now, this is
Hashtag goat yoga. It's a real
Hashtag goat yoga.
There it is. If you don't
Now
believe
what?
it, there's a photo to prove it.
now. Where is this happening? Let's scroll down here. There's a 1,200 person waiting list that's growing by the day to do yoga with goats.
Oregon.
So
It's
you
in
do
Oregon.
yoga,
Super cute.
and there's just a little cute goat that sits on top of your back.
I mean, goats are kind of adorable. I
Now
suppose.
that's distracting to the learning process. If you're trying to learn about yoga and you have a little look at that, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'd be doing what that woman's doing, which is just smiling at the goat the whole time. I don't feel like a lot of yoga is getting done here.
Nah.
It's mostly just a woman smiling at a goat. Look at that. That's not yoga. That's not a yoga move. That's not a yoga move at all. I don't know if I believe in this goat yoga.
I mean, really, you're just hanging out with
Look
goats.
at that. What is that yoga move? Cuddle the goat?
Now, let's stay positive.
Sure.
So perhaps, now maybe the yoga isn't. being
There's
done.
nothing negative about having a little baby goat on you,
No.
by the way. I'm
Because
not saying
other
that
people
there
are
is.
smiling.
Oh, look at that one.
That's perfect. See, that's yoga and a baby goat.
Yep.
Hold on, I have some breaking news here, guys.
Oh, hold on. Pat has some breaking news.
Somebody captured on video 2 rabbits having a street fight.
We cut to now 2 rabbits having a street fight. Well, I'm glad that we were able to bring you that up-to-the-minute information about those 2 bunnies having a street fight. We hope that both of them turn out okay.
Wait, speaking of socks,
We have an 88-year-old who builds superpowered machine to knit thousands of socks for shelters. I thought he had superpowered socks for a second.
Yeah, I thought he had built a superpowered machine. Full stop. He had a machine that had superpowers. That's a wonderful thing for someone to do. When my wife passed away in 2010, can't read it. When my wife passed away in 2010, I felt the loss that everybody feels and I had nothing to do. My son said to me, if you want to help somebody else. Rutherford emphasizes that the socks aren't only doing his.
Only his doing.
Only his doing. He also has a few friends. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your service in the sock community. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your positive news for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Chad, did you enjoy it?
I absolutely did, yes.
Do you feel better?
I do.
Feel like you know something that makes you feel better?
Well, now I know I got to get on the waiting list for the goats.
Goat yoga.
So-
We watch those rabbits fight. People will shave their head for a good cause, and that old
Absolutely.
man has superpowers.
Yep.
There you go.
We hope you enjoyed that clip from the Andy Show. It was informative, interesting, and nutritious.
It's hard to do all of those things, but we did it.
You got all your fiber, you got all your nutrients, your vitamins, your minerals,
Sodium.
sodium. You got all of your sodium, all that daily sodium intake that you need to be a living, floating, real person.
Sugar.
Sugar? Okay. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you soon with new content, and we'll see you soon with old content. Who
Yeah,
knows
we'll be
what's
seeing you.
happening? We'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you again. In the words of Glenn Danzig, I'll be seeing you in hell.
Before you make it to hell, feel free to check out our merch store. The link is below.